It was a Monday morning straight out of nightmare. I stumbled down the stairs, one shoelace flapping like a rogue flag, my laptop bag smacking my hip with every step. I was already running late, coffee splattered on my shirt, a critical investor Zoom call looming in 35 minutes. But when I reached the parking lot, my heart stopped. There in spot 29, saw my soft spot, the one I'd shelled out extra cash for and defended like a knight guarding a castle, sat a smug silver SUV. It gleamed under the morning sun, floral decals plastered on the windows, a license plate reading Blessed To, and a jasmine-scented air freshener dangling from the mirror like it owned the place. This wasn't just a car. It was an invasion. I stood there, jaw on the pavement, willing it to be a hallucination from too little sleep. No dice. My morning was already a train wreck, and this SUV was the super VY lane cackling over my misfortune. I whipped out my phone, dialed the building manager voicemail. Texted nothing. Checked the online guest parking log zip. I circled the car like a detective, hunting for a note, a scribbled sorry on a napkin. Nothing. Inside, I spotted a yoga mat, eco-friendly tote bags, and a book titled Saw Live Your True Saw. The irony was thicker than my coffee. The lot was deserted, typical for an early Monday when everyone's just trying to serve EYV. But I was in war mode, staring down an enemy that had colonized my Saw territory. With no time to fight, I parked 3 blocks away, sprinted back, and joined my Zoom call 4 minutes late, hair plastered to my forehead, Wi-Fi dropping every time I share my screen. My boss's "we'll talk later" was corporate code for your toast. When the call ended, my shirt was a sweat-soaked rag, and I slammed my laptop shut, muttering curses that could have made the neighbor's dog faint. I was furious at the SUV's owner, at the HOA for a system that couldn't tow an illegal parker without a notarized novel. By evening, the SUV hadn't moved, sitting there like a showroom model. I staked out the lobby, eyes glued to spot 29, hoping to catch the culprit. Nothing at 10 p.m. Nothing at midnight. Tuesday, same deal. Wednesday, still there. It wasn't just annoying, it was a psychological siege. I left polite notes. Please move. This is reserved. By morning, they vanished like a magician's trick. On Wednesday, I noticed a smudge where my latest sticky note had been. This driver was either clueless or straight up diabolical. Thursday hit like a punch. I was staggering back from the grocery store, bags cutting into my hands, keys in my teeth when I saw her. Blonde ponytail swinging, leggings fancier than my rent, Bluetooth headset glued to her ear like she was negotiating world peace. She waved to someone down the drive and strutted to the SUV. My blood turned to ice. A bag slipped, eggs nearly smashed. I jogged up, panting. "Excuse me, is this your car?" She spun around, all Broadway star poise. "Oh, yes, sorry. Meant to move it," she said, like she'd left a sock on the floor, not hijack my spot for days. I kept my voice steady, though I was one spark from exploding. "This is my reserved spot. I left notes, contacted the HOA. Her eyes scanned me like I saw was the problem. I thought it was open. It's so close to the building, you know." My pulse pounded. "It's labeled 29. My name's on the lease." She smirked. "It's just a parking spot, right?" Then she slung her bag over her shoulder and sauntered off like she just wanted to debate. That night, sleep was a pipe dream. I lay awake, fantasizing about towing her car with a crane or stuffing her tailpipe with glitter. Friday morning, the SUV was still there, mocking me. I called the HOA again. They needed photographic proof of her parking. What? Install a trail cam. I started snapping time-stamped photos from my window. I named her Chloe. Naushed earned a VY Lanes title. Saturday, I caught her doing lunges by the SUV and saw my soft spot. I nearly choked on my coffee. When I confronted her, she claimed a sprained ankle required the close spot. "Before or after your yoga stretches?" I shot back. She waved me off with a fake limp and vanished. I was trapped in a twisted comedy. But Saturday evening changed everything. Passing her SUV, I noticed the passenger window cracked open. And there, on the seat, was a spare key, gleaming like forbidden treasure. My brain lit up. Not vandalism, that wasn't my butt, it sparked something ingenious. I'm a mechanical engineer. My workshop could build a spaceship. As dusk fell, my mind raced. Chloe wanted to play dirty? I'd rewrite the rules. Sunday, I stood in my garage, coffee scorched, staring at chains, clamps, and a whiteboard that looked like a serial killer's manifesto. This wasn't about destruction. It was about justice. Reclaiming Spot 29, teaching Chloe that other people's property isn't her playground. I needed something bold, non-damaging, undeniable. Over 2 days, my garage became a mad scientist's lair. I built a modular chain grid to encase a car motion sensors, an industrial winch, a magnetic lock tied to my phone's key fob. It was reversible, legal, and documented with timestamp logs. I tested it on my car. 15 minutes to lock, 5 to release. Perfect. Sunday night, with my buddy Malik, we struck at 2 a.m. The complex was silent. Malik held the flashlight, scanning for patrols, while I unrolled the chains. We worked like a pit crew, looping tires, securing doors, avoiding scratches. The magnetic locks clicked. An orange netting bow adorned the hood with a tag. For those who take what's not theirs. 17 minutes. Done. We high-fived and vanished. Monday morning was pure chaos. At 6:45, I watched from my window. At 7:15, Chloe burst out, coffee mug in hand, ponytail bouncing. She froze, nearly dropping her drink, arms flailing. "What the hell saw is this?" she shrieked, tugging at the chains. They held. She paced, snapped photos, and called someone, her voice carrying vandalism and unbelievable. I sipped my coffee, savoring the chaos. By 8 o'clock, the HOA president arrived, clipboard in hand, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Chloe unleashed a tirade, gesturing wildly. He knocked on my door. I answered calm as a monk. "Did you chain a car?" he asked. I nodded, showing my photos, notes, and ignored HOA emails. I wanted her attention. No damage done. Chloe stormed up, fuming. "This is insane. You can't trap my car. You can't steal my spot." I shot back. "It's due $80 a month. You ignored me." She demanded police. They came, inspected, and chuckled. "Securest parking job I've seen," one said. "No crime, just a CIVYL dispute." I offered to unlock if she signed an agreement never to park there again. She refused, storming off. I relocked the chains. The story spread like wildfire. Neighbors sent laughing emojis. Someone left a coffee gift card. A retiree nodded respect. Chloe wasn't just hearing, it was saw Lee Vying saw it. A week later, she vanished. No SUV, no ponytail, no pastel sneakers. I thought she'd retreated or was plotting revenge. My mornings normalized. Spot 29 was mine again. But Friday night, an HOA letter slid under my door, stamped urgent. They'd reopened the case, finding me for unauthorized mechanical systems on communal property. Chloe's name was among the voters. I called the HOA. Denise, the dramatic secretary, said the decision was final. I asked how Chloe could vote on her own case. Silence. This wasn't about chains, it was control. Chloe had spun her loss into a power play. I went nuclear. Over 2 days, I compiled the dossier, bylaws, parking rules, ignored emails, community maps, even Chloe's history of violations, like an unpermitted party. A neighbor, Frank, revealed Chloe's past at another complex, where she bullied until ousted. I had a pattern. I drafted a letter demanding a public hearing, attaching Frank's account and certified records. I sent it via email, mail, and HOA Dropbox. The hearing was set for Thursday in the community room. Residents packed in, airing grievances, Chloe's fines for chalk drawings, false disability accusations. I presented my case calmly, stacking EVY Denke like a prosecutor. Frank backed me. A board member admitted not seeing all documents before voting. Chloe faltered, calling it an overreaction. The board delayed the vote, but the tide had turned. Friday's email rescinded my fine, affirming Spot 29 as mine. No apologies, but a win. Neighbors celebrated. A teen called me parking ninja. Chloe cornered me Sunday, handing me an envelope. "For your records," she said, walking away. Inside, a letter admitted her fault and promised not to park there again. Cold, but signed. Days later, she resigned from the HOA at a meeting sparked by my case. New policies emerged. faster disputes, term limits. Spot 29 stayed untouched. I added a camera and a sign. Reserved, respect required. Neighbors chuckled. The chain trap saga became legend not for aggression, but for saying no to a tyrant. Helping a new neighbor, I smiled at her comment on my sign. Spot 29 wasn't just mine. It was everyone's who'd been ignored. And if it took steel chains to prove it, so be it. So what do you think? Was I a hero for standing up to Chloe? Or did I go too far with the chains? Should the HOA have acted faster? Or was this a fight I should have let go? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're Team Spot 29, and subscribe for more wild stories.